All right, guys, and we are live. First time back in a couple of months. How's everybody doing? Not sure that we have anybody here yet. Well, we got 3 people. There's some people popping on. Wait here a couple of minutes for everybody to get on, and we'll get on with our topic of the night. All right. I did set some little goofy goal or something like that for the live stream. Apparently, I guess you could do some type of goal or whatever for so many people that make a donation or whatever you call it on there, and I get like 15 or whatever, then I'll do some type of live painting for you guys. It had to have like a goal what I would do for if we obtain like the 15 live stream whatevers or whatever. But anyway, we're going to talk about that a little bit later anyway. So we're just waiting here for a little bit for everybody to hop on. I'm like the only one home right now. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that in case we got any axe murderers out there. Yeah, no wife, nobody home except for my son's dogs, and you'll probably hear them in the background here in a minute. Hey, John, how are you doing? Good evening, sir. Yeah, we're just waiting for some people to get on here. Hey, Ralph. Yeah, it's been a while, man. It has been a while. Brian, how are you doing? Raging Mondo. Good evening, sir. I think that's such a cool name. Raging Mondo. All right. Getting a few people popping on here. Haven't seen you guys in a while, man. It's been too long. Oh, the work industry has kept me severely busy. Mr. Brenner, hello. MVP's Gaming, hello. Joe, what's up, Joe? Yeah, I love doing these live streams. It's just this happens to be Thursday. It happens to be my day off from work, so I have to do like stuff around the house and all that. I was trying to finish up a video, but got some editing to do. I hate editing, so but here we are. Garrick, how you doing? So it is 7 o'clock. I'm going to give just another minute or two for some more people to pop on here. And I got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Some stuff that's been kind of going on for the past couple of months while we haven't been on the live stream. Hi, James. How are you doing? Yeah, some pretty interesting stuff. And I think maybe we need to address it with a lot of us on here and kind of get your thoughts on some stuff. And then we'll kind of veer off topic from topic to topic and talk about a couple other things. Let you know what's been kind of going on with the channel. Let you know what's been going on with Patreon, kind of keeping you guys all updated and everything, because we've got a lot to catch up on here in the past couple of months. Kyle, how are you doing? All right. Okay, well, we're not going to waste any more time. I guess I'll go ahead and get on to it. So we just got a few people here. I'm sure some people will hop on later, and if they do, great. If they don't, then they can catch the replay or whatever. All right, so tonight's topic is an interesting one. I kind of got some footnotes here. And hey, everybody's going to Kyle's house. Dude's smoking some steaks. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm going to pull up a couple of things here. There's a couple of things I want to talk about regarding Patreon. There's a couple of things I want to talk about, with other things going on. So, and get your input on some stuff. All right. So this is going to be kind of like an audience participation type live stream, like they usually are. I kind of go over a few things. I kind of read some of your comments, and we start kind of having an open discussion, Q&A, and all that good stuff. And tonight's really going to be no different. We're going to kind of jump right in. So, if you've not noticed, or you have noticed, probably here in the last couple of weeks, we've had some creators to run into a little bit of a roadblock with Patreon. And a lot of it centers around the whole IP infringement sort of thing. there's actually been a couple of creators to have to take a file down. I watched a video where uh, Vengeance Studios, VS Studios, Jordan, the guys over there had a lot of their stuff taken down off My Mini Factory. Excuse me. And while it's not Patreon, it kind of affected their Patreon because that's kind of pretty much how they were running things. So I'll give you my observation and I'll give you my opinion on things and what's going on. So first off, I'd like to say this, that Patreon is getting just too big in the sense of there's a lot of creators hopping on there creating models. And in my personal opinion, I think that's just driving more recognition to Patreon and different creators. And some of these companies now are kind of like diving in and looking at these creators and saying, "Oh, we're not getting paid for this, so we're getting our stuff taken. We're going to have our stuff taken down." So I think that's a big thing right there is that we got too many Patreon creators, and it's got its good and it's got its bad thing. The biggest thing that I think is good is you got variety, of course. There's a lot of variety going on. And if you see a model that you want for that month, you sub for that month, and you kind of just, you unsub if you don't see anything that you like. The bad thing about it is the variety. It's the same thing. So I have to say that in the sense of I think it's overwhelming people. I think that a lot of us are members of too many, Patreons, and we're hoping for this model, hoping for that model, and then would they keep delivering stuff that we just really don't want, or don't intend on printing or anything like that. So we kind of like just get frustrated and move along, and it's kind of like a vicious circle. So I think that while the good thing is we have variety, the bad thing is we have variety. Um, I know if you're a member of Wicked 3D, I would love to see one single person that has at least printed every single model that they've done. I don't think you'll find it. So I think it's pretty overwhelming when you got Patreons like that who are creating a ton of stuff for people, and it's just not going anywhere. Now, keep in mind, I love Gabriel. That's my brother from another mother there. He's a super cool guy. I was just kind of using him as an example. But there are a lot of people who are doing the same model. I mean, different variants and stuff like that. But like I said before, like if you unless you have like a character that you're just super crazy about, like I am with Punisher, then what do you need all those models for? So I think that's kind of having a negative impact on thing. But also from these companies like Marvel, DC, Games Workshop is kind of hopped in the mix now. I think what these guys are doing is they're seeing these models and they're keeping a more of an eagle eye out now, and I think it's kind of going to get worse before it gets better. I don't really think it's going to get better. I think it's just going to continue getting worse. Um, and I think that a lot of these artists are getting into Patreon at the wrong time, because if you've noticed, there's a bunch of people. Well, there's a few that I've seen in the past couple of months, especially, that have got on there and have opened up a Patreon and just can't get enough subscribers to maintain or sustain anything. So they wind up, just either not producing or just kind of just bowing out pretty quickly. So, fortunately, I'm one that my Patreon is one that can sustain itself. We are kind of like, we're like Zez Studios, people who are, maintaining and not trying to overwhelm people with models and trying to do something different here with this one. And I think that's why people are sticking around. So I think a lot of people tend to follow the money. So if whatever model sells, that's what they're going to put out. And the good for them, if that's what they want to do. But I think that's not a reason to really, for me to stay in Patreon if that's the case. If it ever becomes an issue, whether it's through whatever reason, then I mean, I'm okay with saying, hey, we had a good run, we're out. But hopefully that doesn't happen. It does become a little frustrating trying to meet deadlines and everything like that. So I can understand how some artists who are doing the models by themselves can't keep up. So that's another thing that kind of, makes Patreon a troublesome thing, is because you got people who subscribe to your Patreon, and then you don't produce the models, and they're kind of like left in limbo. Nothing's going on. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but that's happened to a few people with some discussion that I've had with them, and they just wind up leaving Patreon altogether, and it just put a bad taste in their mouth, and they kind of get out of the hobby, if you will. The other thing I think that people don't do well when it comes to Patreon is they don't know how to market their channel or their Patreon. I think that's one thing that Wicked and Zez Studios does really well. Is every time I pop up an Instagram feed or Facebook or something like that, they're always promoting their stuff. And if you're not doing that, then of course you're going to fail. And there's a few that I've seen that I've studied that fairly new, but they just kind of pop their Patreon up there, post one or two pictures of what's coming up, and that's it. That's all you see until the models come out. And that's another thing I think that's it's not a necessarily Patreon trouble, but I think it's trouble for the creators. I said I was going to kind of talk about this a little bit, but I think if you're going into Patreon to do the work and everything, you're doing all this work with the models and stuff, you might as well put up a good marketing campaign, whether it be promote your own website, your Facebook page, your IG page, TikTok, whatever. And that's what I try to do as well. I don't try to spam and overwhelm different groups and stuff like that, but that's your way of getting marketing out there. And there's some people who are excellent at it, and there's some people who just aren't, and the ones who aren't are the ones who kind of fall to the wayside. So if there's any Patreon creators in the chat or watches this video or whatever like that, kind of keep that in mind. I'm not saying that I want tons of Patreons out there overwhelming people, but if you work hard at it and everything, chances are, you're going to have some success. I mean, whether it's minimal, whether it's you just blow it out of the water or whatever, but hopefully you'll get some success from it. The other thing with Patreon, I think is going on aside from the companies taking notice is, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, it's probably going to be an unpopular thing, is you got these very toxic statue people coming over to Patreon, and it's greed, 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 greed. That's all they're in for. It is the money. There's really nothing there except for them to make money and stuff. And again, more power to them if that's what they want to do. But I see that they're not very good at customer service. They're pretty rude to some people that ask general questions. Now, I try to answer every single question. I'm not perfect at it or anything like that, but I usually don't try to be rude unless you're rude to me. So, I think that's a big issue. I think that that's going to drive away people from Patreon as well. One thing that I want to do is I really want to get more into the I really want to get more into the private painting or private videos and stuff like that of stuff that you won't see on the YouTube channel, like going to more in depth when it comes to painting or printing or whatever the subject is. And that's a little hard to do when a lot of my time is spent with promoting the models and following up with artists and stuff to get them to get the models done, and then sending everything out, plus working on the channel, and plus what I do as a full-time job. It's very tiring, guys. I mean, it's huge. It's a huge undertaking, and I can see where a lot of people get overwhelmed and they just kind of like fall to the wayside and stop everything. So that's not something that I'm really looking to fall into. I'm trying to keep everything on a good pace and keep up everything that I can. Again, if it ever becomes an issue where it starts kind of impeding on my family, or anything like that, then we got to make some decisions and everything. So yeah. Um, let's see a couple other things. There's been a few, not a few, but there's been a couple of Patreon creators that I know of that have actually gotten into some recent trouble posting nude models, um, which I'm not sure what happened or whatever like that. But I always thought that you had to be at least 18 years old to go on to like Patreon and sub to a um, a Patreon creator or anything like that. I thought you had to be at least 18 years old, but apparently somebody's mommy or a couple of people's mommy found out that they were downloading nude models, and they reported these creators. And again, I don't want to pull out names or anything like that, but yeah, and they kind of got in trouble for it. They pulled down all their models, and so now they're kind of having to start from square one again. Um, so what else is an issue with Patreon staying in this whole thing is just the abundance of nudity. I mean, I have a question, and you guys can answer it in the chat. Okay, I get it. Some people see it as a work of art. Some people are just little rambunctious people who don't have a girlfriend, wife, or whatever like that, and just love to look at the stuff. But how many people actually print this stuff and display it in their house? I mean, uh, can you imagine going over your buddy's house and like, hey man, what's going on? Yeah, check out this model I just 3D printed and everything. And you go in there and you see like all this stuff with big honkers out and G strings and all this other stuff. I mean, that right there, I think is going to get a little bit pornographic eventually. I think that's where this whole dial is going with Patreon. And I know it's supposed to be against the rules and stuff like that. But I think people are going to start trying to push the envelope on that one, and that's going to be a lot of trouble for Patreon. Um, so High says topless, not full nudity. I have seen full nudity, my friend. So yeah. Uh, so Raging Mondo says, I think there is going to be an issue with companies protecting their IP. I know there has been a fair amount of customs statue groups getting shut down. I imagine the 3D community is next. So that's right. So a lot of these statue custom companies have these Facebook groups that are secret. So the only way that you can get in, it's like Fight Club. First thing, the rule about Fight Club is, the answer from there. But I think that these guys are finding out that it's getting more difficult to sell their overly priced models or their kits or statues or whatever. And some of them are getting out of it. Some of them have actually gotten reported, and you're right, some of them have gotten shut down. So I get it. Regimondo says again, he says the models, those are made for people that haven't been up the stairs and seen daylight. Oh man, really, Dave? Dave, you'd be surprised with some of the clients that I've had and some of that stuff that I printed. I mean, if that's your bag, then I mean, I guess that's fine. But I mean, yeah. And Joe, this is what the point I'm trying to make here. There's an art to the nude form. 99% of these models are not art. They're over stylized and sexualized. It's borderline uncomfortable. And that's true. Like whenever I look at these, I've had a lot of these creators to message me and offer to pay me a fee to actually print and paint one of these models and do a video for it. I just simply refuse. There's actually been a lot of creators. Again, I'm not going to really point out anybody or whatever, but if you've noticed some of these people, that's all they do now is they do a bunch of over sexualized, stylized female models because that's what gets views. And I know a couple of them who do it because it gets views. And so therefore they're, nearing 100,000 subscribers, 75,000 subscribers, while little old me is still stuck at 36, 37. But I try to have a little bit of integrity when it comes to that stuff. I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'll do some female models, but I mean, I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil for a couple $100 or whatever like that for a video, for, I find it tacky. Now, I mean, there's characters like Wonder Woman and Catwoman and all these other female characters and stuff like that that can be done without having like quadruple D's, and if that offends you, I'm sorry, but I think it's tacky. And yeah, it's not a good site for Patreon. I think if it keeps up or whatever, they're going to start cracking down on it. You're going to have a lot of people start complaining about it, and they're going to probably dial that back some. So we'll see. Um, let's see. Yeah, Ralph says, I'm 56 and I would find myself divorced if I started into the news. Luckily, it doesn't interest me at this age. Yeah, I mean, I'm in my 50s too, man, and that stuff right there just has no impact on me anymore. Um, yeah, and here's another thing with Patreon too. As long as Etsy is around, it has to be hard to make money with all the piracy. So we're all victim to it. Every creator is out there is victim to it. Um, it's I don't know what the solution is. I am actually been working out some things with some companies in order to have some type of validity in doing these models. So we'll see how that goes. That's something I'll cross down the line. Let's see, Dave. Are they still doing C&Ds, which are cease and desist orders? I know back in the day of Garage Kits, they did cease and desist. I actually got one from Marvel because I did a model kit of Spider-Man. So yes, they are, and I think maybe last year or even year before last, I think Wicked was hit with one from DC, and I think they had to pull their Patreon down from that. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, and I think that they're doing that now through Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. But there's been a couple of companies to get a C&D, and they've had to. I mean, I've gotten one in the past, and that was not fun at all. If you don't think that they can't come after you financially and everything, think of it again. They can and they will. Um, let's see. Do to do. Let's see. Yeah, Dave. I mean, at the end of the day, it was for a paycheck. Totally understandable. Um, let's see. Yeah, and so unless it's Power Girl, there's no reason for triple Z bra sizes. So what is it with Power Girl? Is she like that in the comics? Because every model that I see her, she's got some, I mean, like big, big hooters. OnlyFans for models, right, Kyle? Um, let's see. Yeah, so Dave says, unfortunately for people stealing that there's no stopping it. You can try and sick lawyers, but it's not your property at the end of the day. And so there's that. So that's true. And I don't know of any lawyer that would actually take a case, going after a cease and desist order on a property that doesn't necessarily intellectually belong to you. Now, if it's your own property, then yeah, I mean, there's also limits to that too. There are countries out there that don't have any type of they don't have any type of they don't acknowledge the copyright laws like we do here in the US. So I want to say like parts of Brazil, parts of China, uh, Colombia. There's other places that don't, but where that's going to cause problem is I think Patreon is a uh, is a platform where if these companies come in and show this that that property belongs to them, then they'll take it off of Patreon. I mean, they won't necessarily come after you for it, but they will shut it down off of Patreon, which has been done. I mean, what was that Games Workshop come after? I can't remember who it was. A few weeks ago or a month or so ago, they were giving away a free model of Space Marine. Damn it, I'll get it right in a minute. They were doing a model of a Space Marine and just giving it away, and they shut them down. And then there was another one that was shut down, and then Wicked had to kind of tread on thin ice on theirs too. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, I think between between what's going on with the companies looking at, Patreon now, and seeing everything that's going on, and I think that's going to pose a problem. Who knows? I mean, Patreon may start putting tight limits on stuff. I mean, you're going back to the whole piracy sort of thing. You I mean, there's always that risk that you're going to have something happen to you if you're doing that. But I think if it becomes a bothersome to Patreon, they're actually going to probably put in some tighter reins on what people can post on there. May have to do some approval process. I heard that that's kind of something that they're looking into. I know a couple of people that actually work for them in their processing departments and stuff, and they've kind of alluded to that they're going to start putting some tighter reins on some of the stuff that's actually going and being submitted onto Patreon. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't look for it to happen anytime soon, unless it just gets real nasty with these companies coming after these creators. So um, let's see. Galactic Armory was one that was, yeah, I don't like that guy. Uh, yep. So just like Mondo says, that would be the quickest way to stop it, is to go after the host. And I know that they're actually doing some of that on my mini factory now. As I said earlier, it happened with Vengeance. It happened with the guy who did the Warhammer, the Space Marine model. I think that's where they initially found it at, and they kind of trailed him back to Patreon. And I can't remember the guy's name who did it, but was it CA3D? I'm not exactly sure. But a lot of those companies are kind of getting wind, and they're going after some of these people. It hasn't got to the point now where I don't think that they're, um, sending out cease and desist orders to the creator, but they're going after the host. That seems like the more logical, easy way to go after them. I'm not sure if it was Bulkamancer. Yeah, right. Then I think it was Hell Creator. I think that's who it was, Hell Creator. So yeah, um, yeah, I think that was them. Yeah. Yeah, and time will tell whether or not this thing is going to become a problem. The good thing for Patreon right now is they're making a ton of money off of us, off of us creators, because there's so many people coming uh, out there and creating Patreons and everything like that. But it's not just like models. Patreon goes for everything. I mean, but not just you just think of all the 3D creators, the ones who make the cute little animals and snakes and dragons and stuff, all the way to the high end STL digital format models like what we do. And then there's actually, I know doctors that give medical advice and, medical tips and stuff like that. There are makeup artists who are on Patreon that have, there's like a couple of people I looked into that have, I think there's one girl, she's a makeup artist and gives like makeup tips, and I think she has over like 500,000 Patreon members, and they're giving her like $5, $10 a month. Can you do the math on that one? Oh my God, my mind is blown. So yeah, it's crazy. Um, the other thing that I think is going to wind up happening is these uh, these creators, like I said, they're going to start getting scared and start dropping off, and they may try to go and do it under another platform, which could also be bad for Patreon. People are so used to going to that; it's so easy to sign up and everything. And anyway, um, let's see here. So yeah, it would be great if more people got into original creations instead of wasting time on the same old models. We should focus on making unique art. Right now, we feel like cover bands. That is true. And you're exactly right. I mean, but it is very hard for people to break away from what they're normally used to. We're creatures of habit. So if we see something and we're used to doing it, we're going to keep doing it. We're really not comfortable with stepping outside the box to do something different. So that's hard on a lot of people. I know that like they're still around with a little bit of a pulse ARH statues. I know the owner there, he was for years having great success with doing statues of like the gods, Achilles, Zeus, all these guys. He come up with his own characters, Arcella and all that. They did pretty good for a while. Then everything kind of fell to the wayside. And I think a lot of that was because he wasn't sending out statues. He ran into some production problems or something. And people weren't paying for their stuff. What anyway, that's a totally different topic. But I think it was a struggle for him. And I think a lot of people just don't want to take that risk. Um, let's see. So yeah, I saw this. Eric Sosa and Caleb Neffson are both in the process of starting their own Patreons. I'm telling you right now that I put money on it. These Patreons are going to be expensive as hell because these are two well-known artists. They're very good, but they got very big egos. Yes, I have no love for Eric Sosa. Caleb seems like a pretty nice guy. He's a little bit out there. But these guys are going to want to get paid for their work. I doubt very seriously you're going to see any $10 models, $10 a month for 3 or 4 models a month from these guys, or even 20. So kind of, yeah. So I saw Caleb's going to actually introduce his on June 29th. And his first model, he's already kind of give a little bit of a sneak peek of. It's going to be Red Sonja, and it looks really good. It looks really, really good. So yeah, those guys, I know both of them are freelance. Again, a lot of these so-called secret statue groups and stuff are kind of drying up. Nobody's buying their expensive crap anymore, and so they're making their way over here. What you're going to find out is you're going to find a lot of toxicity will actually come with it. So watch and see. Hey Tyrone, how you doing, man? Let's see. Da, 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 da. So let's see. Primal Collectibles. They've done a lot of Forgotten Realms and Dragonlance characters. Da, 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 da. Let me say. Terrell's right. I'd pay whatever those guys charge. It's still cheaper than what those Facebook custom groups are charging. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. It would be interesting. Let's see. It would be interesting to see what AI brings in the future. Right now, it can't create STLs from images that have the level of detail we are wanting for statues, but I can see that day coming. You're absolutely right, Shane, and I think that's. I think that AI is the future. I know that a lot of artists think that it's a cheap way out. It's a kind of like cheating, sort of, or whatever. But they said the same thing when they went from traditional sculpting to doing ZBrush. And AI is a process of moving forward. It's going to be something you're either going to have to embrace or just it's going to pass you by. I think it's right around the corner. I've actually seen a couple of engines AI engines to actually make a full figured STL, 3D printable and everything, just by entering in like what you want. Like you can take a picture of someone or whatever and make a figure out of that, or you can actually enter in like the description of the person, or you can actually post a picture, a 2D picture of it, and it'll actually process a 3D rendered model, and then you can actually tidy it up or whatever. But right now at this process, you still have to have something like ZBrush in order to cut and render the model. So and it doesn't look all that great. The details are still sketchy. So, but I've actually seen something on that, and yeah, it's crazy. So there were AI is right around the corner, most definitely. And that's another thing that I was going to go ahead and talk about that Patreon's going to wind up being in trouble with is because of AI. And so, I mean, there's going to be like game companies and stuff are already starting to use it. They're going to start producing stuff a lot quicker. They're going to be tagging their IPs on some of this stuff and everything. And a lot of this stuff is going to wind up being put on Patreon. And you damn right they're going to keep an eye out and making sure people don't steal their, their creations. So, um, yep. Shane, you're right again. So, like, worry about artists though. Game designers are moving away from custom artist work to computer generated art. Um, right. So, a lot of your companies like that are finding out that they don't have to pay the artists, and which sucks because that's a lot of these people. That's their way of feeding their families and everything, and they that's their way of taking care of their, paying their bills and stuff. And if AI comes in and you can just punch in a few buttons and stuff, you don't need these guys anymore. So that kind of sucks on that end. Um, yeah. So let's see here. Let's see. It's harder. Terrell's pretty optimistic. I think creative people will thrive. Guys that are painters or 3D printers are still making a living. Most people can't have a 3D printer in their home. Yeah. So I mean, if you're a painter, and I'll say this is one of the main reasons why I don't do any type of prototyping or paint models for people or anything like that. First off, it just doesn't pay all that well. You think of all the time and effort that you put into painting a model. Now, you guys do it. I mean, ask yourself, how many hours, how many countless hours do you put into printing and painting a model? Now, you take that, okay, and you kind of multiply those hours times your hourly wages of what you think your work is worth. And then you tell me whether you can make a living on that by doing a couple of those a month. I don't know many people who make printing quality models and painting them more than 2-3 a month, because these things take a long time. What you see here, and this is one of the reasons why it's hard to get videos out, because I'm not going to put out um, just a bunch of garbage and stuff. I'm going to take my time with doing what I'm doing. Hell, it took me 38 days to do the Batman, and that's why you don't see. I mean, that's why you didn't see any videos from me, because that thing took a long time to do. Um, my channel took a hit for it. I mean, because subscriber count went down, viewership went down. But again, I'm not going to just put out something out there just for the sake of doing it. Now I can go up there and I can spray a little zenithal on something and put a pinkle or whatever like that on something and spray this, that, and the other and call it done. And I can't do it. I just can't. I mean, that's just not in me to do. But then again, my job is not YouTube. So, yeah. Let's see. So Regimondo says, it is a process of advancement. Some will have to adapt or be overtaken. It happened with special effects when they went from practical to digital. They had to learn a new skill, which you're exactly right. Everything evolves from making, imagine how cars were made and produced and painted back from the 70s, 80s to now. Same thing with models, look at, we're talking about makeup artists and stuff. Look at all that, what prosthetics are out there now, special effects and everything. It's totally different now compared to what it used to be. Looking at Star Wars from 1977 to the newest one, which is what I don't even remember the day. What is it? 2016, 2018, something like that. Look at the difference between the special effects then into now, and it's a huge gap. So, yeah, I mean, everything evolves. You either have to adapt to it or get out of the way. I mean, it's just the way things are. Shane says, I haven't been right twice in one day. He's writing this down. If you're married, Shane, do not tell your wife that. Let's see. Terrell says, I laughed at my neighbor when he told me he wanted a 3D printer like me. I was like, dude, you have a family. No way your wife will allow it. So some wives like mine, they support you on it. I mean, that's the fortunate thing. But yeah, you got some people who live in a small apartment, they have kids and everything else, so they can't do it. I got a friend who loves 3D printing. He loves the whole aspect of it and everything, and he cannot have a printer in his house. His actually one of his kids are severely allergic to got skin allergies. They break out in a rash when they're around, the fumes or toxic things or whatever like that. There's certain things he can't have in his house. But I mean, he gets somebody to print models for him. He paints them, and he is very, very good at it. So that's kind of like how he copes with it. I mean, he gets somebody else to print it for him while he paints it himself. So it kind of works out for him. So there's people who adapt and do that. And talk about adapting here. Um, Let me see. Um, let's see. Matt Morozic can go F himself. I'll say that. Quote me on that one. Not giving that punk any time. Yeah, most guys either paint or 3D print. Very few do both. Um, my wife says she's here. Whatever I said, all lies. Funny you say that. Um, oh, your wife bought the printer? I says bow the printer. I'm going to take it that there's a T on the end of that. Mine bought my printer. That's cool. So yeah, I mean, some people do both. Like me, I mean, I've got a big enough space for it. I've got my own secluded area. I don't have any small children. So yeah, it's more feasible for me to do both, more cost efficient rather than to get somebody else to print it and me painting it. For a long time, I used to do garage kits. Of course, people would actually cast those in resin and send them to me, and I would paint them that way. But yeah, so I still love the old garage kit days. I have a few that I've done. Of course, they're Punisher related that have been holding up for over 20 something years, and the resin's done. It's done its job. It's held up pretty good, and I enjoy that stuff. So Art's got it right. Just print some stuff for her too, man. If you got a wife, chances are she's going to want something printed for her. I know my wife does. She still fusses at me about getting stuff printed for her. I printed a few and painted a few things, but not a lot because just all my time is taken up. So, so what do you guys see as a possible issue with Patreon, if anything at all? If you think Patreon is just peachy, everything's good, there's not going to be any problems with it or whatever, let me know why you think that. But if you also see some issues with Patreon, aside from what I've mentioned already, then let me know what you think about that as well. Be curious to hear you. Um, Art says he printed a original Wonder Woman for her, Linda Carter. Okay, yeah. So we could actually had a nice Linda Carter Wonder Woman. I actually printed it and it got broken, so I'll have to reprint it one of these days and do it all over again. I still got to print. I've got my Wonder Woman for my Patreon printed up. I just have to paint it. I got so much back here. Why do you think I have this fake screen up here? And yeah, I've got the powered by StreamYard back up here. That's another thing. So Patreon, I'm sorry, not Patreon, but CG Trader sent out an email that they're actually getting ready to go up on some of their costs for people putting their models on, display up there. Their payout rates. I'm looking up here on my phone. It says payout rate system changes. They're updating their payout rate starting June 2nd, and they're talking about expanding the payout range to 60 to 80%, making it easier and more transparent, available, advanced through levels as your sales grow. Essentially what this is they're trying to say it's a nice way of saying whatever you sell, we're going to take more money from you. And I know that Gumroad did the same thing. I know My Mini Factory is getting ready to expand their rates. So that's another problem that I see with Patreon is them expanding their rates too. So, like, understand too, guys, like if, let's say, for example, I have a $15 monthly fee for my models. I don't see all that 15. So if you think about what Patreon takes from it, their cut, that actually brings it down to like 1351, I think is 1351, 1341, something like that. And then when it transfers to my PayPal account, then PayPal gets their cut out of it. And then it comes down to like maybe like almost $10. So that 15, I've already lost five and going, and it's just going into 10. And so a lot of people can't sustain, making models for just, $10 payout. Now, I can only imagine what, other companies, that are doing $10 a month, not Wicked because they have the masses on their side, but I can only imagine what those guys are going through when they're probably getting like $7 or $8 out of the whole deal. I mean, you imagine how many people you would have to be subscribed to your Patreon in order to make ends meet or to sustain the models of the time that you're putting into it. With me, it's a little different because I don't do the models myself. I contract everything out. So that is a huge cost as well. So, um, well, let's see. What's up, Southpaw? What's up, man? Um, uh, let's see here. Probably cheaper for people that have their own website. Yeah, it is. A lot of Patreon, let's see, a lot of patrons feel like gambles. You're subscribing, hoping they do something you like. Wish more had options where every month you could choose a mode from their backlog instead. So I said that earlier, and that's one thing that I try to do with my models. Now, if you sub to the channel and the models you got, if you're new, you got the models that are coming out that month, and if it's not something that you like, a lot of people just message me and say, "Hey, instead of getting that model, can I get this other model from the backlog?" I don't have a problem in that. It's doesn't matter. I mean, I even have like after you're there for so many months or whatever, then you can get whatever free model that you want. After you're there for like a year, you get the whole entire catalog. So, um, I mean, there's always options that people can work around. And now you got some creators who just refuse because they want you to stay aboard. But I mean, it's a model. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You're giving them 3 models or however many. I mean, it doesn't make that much difference to me. Um, so here's a good question from Dave. Side note, any chance you're doing any armor, anything like that? That would be cool. I wish I could. A lot of the artists that I work with do not do hardscapes, like armor and stuff like that. They mainly do more natural stuff when it comes to figures and not even likenesses or anything like that, but they do more of the the actual figures of the characters themselves. Um, let's see. So Shane wants to know how many subscribers does Wicked have or Zez before the split? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think between the 3 Patreons that Wicked has, I think they have a little over 6,000, maybe. I mean, you can um is that Ryden, is that Wicked 21,060 members? I thought it was like 6,000. Damn, I'm way off if that's the case. I know I talked to Pablo about the whole everything that happened with with the split with Zez and everything, and both are good guys. Oh, those are the free total members. Yeah, total members don't count. I think it's like 6,000 for paid members between all 3. Yeah. So Wicked alone has 3,749. Yeah. So with Zez, I talked to Pablo, and he basically had said that they lost quite a few, but they're getting them back. And Pablo's actually going to have, he's going to be on one of the live streams here very soon. We're going to line something up. He and I were kind of, he reached out to me and we kind of chat back and forth and everything. Seems like a really good guy. Had him on here before, where he's probably going to go into what they're doing now. They're actually doing the chibis and stuff now, as well as the busts and as well as the models themselves. So I don't think he's really skipped a beat. I know Ederson is doing his own Patreon, and he's starting that up. He actually reached out to me and said he's doing a Punisher next month, and kind of wanted a little bit of insight from me, maybe some references or whatever. So I thought that was kind of nice of him to ask my input on it. It's pretty cool. So yeah. So Wicked has 37, Star Wars has 1,258, and Berserk has 1,231. So what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it's a little over 6,000. Yeah, I thought that's what it was. So they've hovered around the 6,000 mark for a long time. 6238. Yeah, I think they've been around that mark for a couple of years now. And just like every Patreon, they kind of come and go. Now, take that and do the math of $10 a month among 6,238, and you'll see what the income is on that. Now, that's where it starts to kind of get a little icky sticky, because you're making that kind of money. You don't think somebody's watching you, Disney, Marvel, DC, whatever. They're taking note. If they can see all those numbers just like you guys did, and they see how much money they're pulling in, oh yeah. So you mean to tell me they're taking in over $62,000 a month? Am I right? It's $10 a month, right? I'm so out of it here with the being off for so long. Yeah. Yeah. So Mondo says he's been getting into ships here lately. That's cool. I thought about doing something different, but every time I think I'm going to be doing something different, somebody's already done it. Oh, by the way, how many Conan models are out there now? I mean, I did mine, last month, before last or whatever, and it was like a Conan explosion. So I guess I should let the cat out of the bag a little bit. I'll give you guys a little bit of a teaser. But next month, for no, there's probably I saw maybe 9 or 10 more. 100. No, not 100. But I'll give you a little bit of a teaser of something that we're going to be working on next month, and with and Enzo is going to probably be doing the model, and that is, do you want to live forever? There's your teaser. All right, there's your teaser. So, but yeah, we need musician STLs, Metallica and Slayer, Deicide, Cannibal Corpse, Malevolent Creation. Yeah, I listened to all those bands. Yeah, the female Silver Surfer would be cool, George says. So I'm seeing whoever their sculptor is killing it. They just need to do some characters and make a big splash. Juggernaut, King, Apocalypse, maybe even some characters from the 80s like Silverhawks or Thundar. So if you're talking about Wicked, I think the last time I talked to Gabriel, he had like 30 people total working for him in all of the Patreons. Most of them are artists. So it's not like one single artist. Yeah. Let's see. Who is Zoud? Zoud 3D has 8,000 Patreons and only makes 3 or 4 flexies per month. And here I am killing myself making 4 full figures every month. Yeah, so that's the thing, man. These guys, hey, and they actually own their own IP on those snakes and those flexies because they developed them. Those are them. So don't try to go out there and steal those designs and put them on Etsy or whatever. Those guys I know will come after you. So yeah. Um, I guess nobody got my teaser. What I said earlier, right? As far as a model that's going to be done, there's no Conan fans in here. Do you want to live forever? Okay. Anybody? No. Okay. Silverhawks. Yeah. Ralph gets it. Ralph gets it. Yep. So we're looking at doing possible Valeria to go with Conan. We were really going to look into doing. Did I get it right? Who Wants to Live Forever? Yeah. So anyway, we were going to do a Red Sonja. Enzo wanted to do a Red Sonja, but um, everybody's popping one of those out. So just not doing. Uh, we're not going to do that yet. I wanted to do Thulsa Doom, but Enzo is not interested in doing that character for some reason or another. So I may, do it with another artist who we'll see. The Conan was a huge success. I've had a lot of people to message me and wanted to mass produce it. Nope. A lot of people have messaged me and wanted to uh, get it to give to clients or whatever like that. Nope, I don't do that. The once it's gone basically. The only way you're getting it is if you're a current member of the Patreon. Yeah, I would love to do Thulsa Doom and his thugs. That would be cool. So there's a new Red Sonja movie coming out. What did I miss? So Southpaw says, "What's the next, Joe?" Of course, I got the diorama with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, and then the next one after that is I don't remember. Hold on, I got to look at my list here. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Let's see. I think the next one is either I think it's Cobra Commander or Sergeant Slaughter. I have to look and see, but I think it might be Cobra Commander. All right, so curious to see how the new Masters of the Universe movie looks. I've seen some of the stills of it. It looks pretty cool. I kind of like the guy who's actually playing him. Yes. So Shane, when we're doing Valeria, it's going to be the one with the face and body paint, not the one with the wings on the hood or anything like that. I like the battle version. So looking at doing that one. Smashing Gaming, I still need to get a hold of your Red Hulk. Are you thinking of using Gumroad? Nope. So, George, good question. I was downloading everything to Gumroad until I found out the prices that they're charging to sell from there, and it is ridiculous. So if I sell a $15 model, I'm going to probably wind up getting like $10 out of that. And then after the PayPal fees, we're looking at probably like $7, $8 or whatever. So no, I'm not doing that through Gumroad. Gumroad raised their prices, and I think a lot of people are just staying with them through the convenience. But not to mention, I was having issues getting some stuff downloaded, and they were zero help at all. So yeah, yep, the Sarge. Come to Earth again in the new Masters of the Universe movie. Yeah, I saw that. It's kind of like the last one. I mean, who liked the Dolph Lundgren one? I didn't. I mean, I didn't like it. I just didn't. I couldn't get into it. It seemed like really forced and cheesy. The Skeletor didn't look great to me. Man at Arms didn't look great to me. I just didn't like it. Does anybody else have any opinion on it? Just didn't dig it at all. So, hey guys, by the way, while you're on here, go ahead and hit the like button. Try and give me a little bit of a boost here with my channel since I done effed everything up and didn't posting for a month. Oh man, I would appreciate it though. Thank you very much for guys. Um, so I think I got through all of that in an hour. Oh, what the hell? Let's talk about something else now. We've kind of went through all this. Anything you guys want to discuss? Let's do it. Oh, let's talk about what some upcoming things that I want to do for the channel. Some things that I'm kind of thinking about. I'm actually trying to get a little bit more organized and kind of writing my ideas down. My wife says you probably need to do that. You probably need to come up with some type of format so you can stick to it. Because a lot of times when I make a video, it's kind of like flying by the seat of my pants on it. And it's just not, I'm trying to make better content and it's just not working out like I want. So I am kind of getting a little bit more organized and trying to do things the right way. So one thing I'm going to probably start doing is let me know what you guys think about live through here, through StreamYard, YouTube, or whatever, about some live painting sessions. I mean, nothing necessarily just per se, but maybe doing some, probably some topics like doing eyes or whatever like that. And I know a lot of those are meant for the actual full-fledged videos, but what about like this week I'm going to be painting one of my damn many hundreds of Punisher models or whatever, and go through some things like that for you guys to see. And what do you think about that? So Mondo says hell yes. Oh, sorry, my nose itches. Punisher and Hulk diorama is going. I'm actually that is one of the next videos that I'm working on. I'm actually gluing this big freaking base together right now, and I had to get some more glue. So yeah. Let's see here. Ralph says yeah. David says yeah. But yeah, I just thought maybe, just set the camera up in a way that you can actually see what I'm doing, just for fun. That way it actually, I can actually work while working. Does that make sense? Like I could be filming a video of me doing a video. My God, my nose itches. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I could be doing a video of a video. That would be pretty cool. Paint with Henry. Subscribers can live paint their models at the same time, and you can interact with folks. I'll be Henry Ross, but I'll be the opposite because I'm bald. Bob Ross had all the hair. Well, I could go out and buy the wig. Yeah, I could buy the Bob Ross wig, and we can make happy accidents. Oh man. Okay, cool. I'll stop being a douche. Well, I wear the fro wig. If I had the wig, dude, I'd do it. I would do it just for the hell of it. That is so cool. Thanks, George. I appreciate it. George says, I love anything you paint. The tips you give are great. You could paint along with me. I mean, you never know what I'm going to paint, though. That's just the problem. Only if it's not going to burn me out. Yeah. So everything right now is kind of dependent on my schedule for work. Yeah, work's gotten intense. It's gotten really intense. So it kind of allows me little time here at the house and to get anything done, unfortunately. Brian says my nephew was Bob Ross for Halloween, so I have the wig if you need it. All those wigs are everywhere, man. I mean, you go to I would say you go to Party City, but we still have Party City around here. We got some dickhead that actually owns the franchise around here, and he's still got his stores operational. But yeah, Party City everywhere else is kind of like a thing of the past. Yeah, so like the idea behind it is to be painting something, and maybe if I could sweet talk my wife into helping me out, because I can't really look at the chat while I'm painting. I have to look up every 5 seconds or whatever, and she can help me out with like questions or, I'll try and work some way around it. She's probably going, no. Um, she says you could plan the paint alongs, choose to focus on face featured paint techniques. Yes, dear. Um, yeah, Party City in Cali is gone. Well, all right, Andre, that's pretty cool. Andre says, because of you, I found a new hobby that I love and do watching your videos, and by far the best resource. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. That puts a smile on my face. I really do. So yeah, I thought about doing stuff like that. I want to do more tutorials on the channel rather than like build ups and paint ups of characters. I find those videos to be a little bit more informational, and I find them to be a little bit more resourceful for you guys, and they do well. And I enjoy them better than trying to take the time to paint up a character. It takes days, it takes weeks. You guys get like 15 to 20 minutes of it, while I'm spending like several weeks in doing it. So it's really, really hard. Oh, I know. My wife says I've been trying to help me with this how many years now? So tell me if this is true. I know it is, but my wife tells me, Henry, you should film everything that you do. It's all content. Everything that you do, film it. And I'm the world's worst about not doing it because I feel like that it's not good enough to show you guys. I know that's probably just, probably my little bit of ego showing in there, but she's right. George says, any upcoming printers that I'm interested in. Actually, I'm getting ready to release a video review on the new Howlett X1. I got to finish editing that one. I'll be dropping that one. And then I am waiting on the Jupiter 2. So hopefully that one comes through for me. I do have a couple of other videos I'm going to be working on some stuff. I know Pablo had mentioned and sending me some of his resin that he's actually producing, where I can use some of that to do some printing of a model or two and maybe do a video about that. It's actually American made. I don't know how expensive it is or anything, but being American made, it's not subject to the tariffs or anything. So that's kind of good. Sounds like it's thundering, which is not good because that means this will probably drop. But so I will work out the logistics with the painting videos and see if we can get some of that up and going. I was actually I started the whole membership thing for the channel a while back, and I was going to do some stuff like that for it too. No, my wife said it was a plane. I was going to do some stuff like that for the membership and just never got around to it, but I am going to start incorporating some of that in there. It's going to be like exclusive content for the members. But it's a lot, man. I mean, you think about it. I got to find a way to organize everything and juggle it, because if I don't, then something's going to have to give. And we're talking live streams, we're talking videos, we're talking Patreon, we're talking memberships, plus working a 45, 50 hour a week job, and having a family life too. So I've got to come up with a way to work everything out, because I will tell you that the first thing that, if I cannot do it, the first thing that I will cut out is the Patreon. I know you guys are like, oh man, I like the models and stuff, but if it becomes too much of an issue, that would probably be the first thing that would go. I mean, I would still have a Patreon for like a support type system, but for models, I would definitely have to cut it out, because it is a lot of money. It's a lot of work. And I actually spend more time on that now that I do the videos, and that's not what I want to do. All right. So let me see. Yep. So Mondo has another one. If you do the live streams, you could reach out to different companies for products to review live. Always nice to see different tools being used that can be helpful. So that was another thing. that I wanted to do is to maybe show some of the products that I do use, not necessarily endorsed by different companies or anything, but there's all kinds of things that I use that may help you guys out. And we could share those and talk about them, the pros and cons or whatever like that for them. But I think that would be a good line of resource for you guys. Dave says, "Hey, do you use spray paint for your base coats?" I do and I don't. So I do use spray can primer most of the time. I use the Krylon Color Max primer. I find that it coats better. And Daryl made it. Hey, Daryl. I do find that it coats better than anything else that I've used. It's smoother. It doesn't produce a lot of like dust and trash in the paint. Some of the base coats that I do, like if I'm got a base that's mainly a solid color, yes, I will use a spray can for it. It's just more convenient. And plus, I'm not using up a whole small tube of paint, when I could just spray paint it and be done with it. So, yep. Um, so yeah, somebody just asked me. So, Vengeance Studios, did they lose all their models off of My Mini Factory, and what are they doing? Uh, Jordan did a live stream on it, so I would probably go to their channel and watch it. But yes, they had everything taken down off My Mini Factory except for like 2 or 3 models, I think, which is disheartening because it was a lot of time and effort to get everything posted up there. So hopefully that he can work it out. Pretty cool dude, and they got a lot of models. So yeah. All right. So anything else I can tell you about Patreon? I man, there's so much stuff going on right now. There's so many out there. I find it's going to be a challenging effort for everybody to make it. I mean, there's a lot of people on there who are 3D printing now, but the audience is only so big. You're going to start kind of biting into other people's Patreons they've been with for a while, and you got people that have stuck it out with like Wicked and Zez, and even myself for, I got some members that have been there for 2 or 3 years, and they refuse to go anywhere because they know what they're going to get is going to be great, and they're fine with it, and then they're totally satisfied with it, and then like to for a new person to really go in and try and not necessarily take those subscribers away, but to get them to convert over to them and also sub to them and get models from them, it's pretty hard. So especially for the ones that don't do any marketing, they just pop up and say, "I've got a Patreon." You got to market it. If you're not going to go anywhere. But I'm curious to see what a couple of these guys come up with. There's a couple of big names going to be doing Patreon. I'm very curious to see what they do. So also Smashing Gaming says a lot of content gets duplicates because somehow everyone starts to do the same thing. I think you're the only one that does Punisher stuff that is kind of different. I know I probably overkill it with Punisher. I'll be the first to admit it, but that's my character. I've just always been into it and everything. But I mean, I try to give you guys something a little different. Like this month, oh my God, we got the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes diorama. We got Green Arrow. I watched earlier, and there was only like one major statue made for Green Arrow, and I think that was from Sideshow. This one's actually going to look really, really nice. I think you guys are going to dig it, and it's also going to kind of correspond with another one down the road. They're going to kind of combine together, and you'll see what I'm talking about later on. I don't want to spill too much. And then we're doing the Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon's looking really good. And then if you were subscribed through the 15th or the 15th of this month or before, then we're also doing Silver Sable. So those are for you. And so that's like 4 total this month. And that's a lot of cost, guys. I mean, that's why I would really, I'd really it's like I'm like stuck at the same subscriber count. And it's like I drop one, I get one. I drop two, I get one. I drop one, I get two. So it's like I'm kind of teetering around that level that I've been at for months and months now. And in order for me to really sustain this and keep it going the way I really want to, I need to double my subscriber count. So we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. Tune, man, that's no problem. Hey, um, not a problem. So I totally get it. If times are tough or whatever like that, not everybody can. They got to keep that residual money and stuff. I totally get it. You're always welcome back. I am not one of these patrons. If you only subscribe 1 month and you kick it out the next month, that I ban you. I'm not doing that. I will ban you if I find out you're producing my stuff on Etsy, and I will ban you if I find out that you're selling it on Telegram. Things like that. And I've had to do that to a lot of people. I've had to take and um, mass producing statues and stuff like that. If you think you're going to put it on Etsy, I will have you taken down. I'm working with a close person who is pretty high up with Telegram, and I'm going to nail some of these people who are, selling files and stuff of mine and everything like that too. So yeah. Let's see. Sarge says I'm trying some new things to get mines up. Yeah, if you guys like Sarge digital design, go over and check him out. He's got his Patreon up and running. Your content's getting better, Sarge. I love it, man. I'm digging it. I'm loving the videos. So yeah. But anyway, anybody else have any questions, or are we going to talk about anything else? Any subjects anybody wants to discuss or anything like that? Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Because I've kind of gotten through the topic, what I wanted to talk about. I would just be very cautious if you're a creator. Be very cautious, of the powers that be that are kind of looking out and stuff. And again, I've seen a couple of people, not mentioning any names, I've seen a couple of people like sell stuff on Etsy from these files that have actually gotten taken down as well. So it's not necessarily just the model that you're creating, but if you're printing it and painting it and going and selling it, you're also subject to those C&Ds. So, okay, here's a question. I know many people have their own ratios, but I'm a bit new to airbrushing. Should I add a drop of flow improver before I add my paint? Absolutely. So while it does help with dry tip, it doesn't totally eliminate it, but it will do what it says. You actually, depending on the size of the pot you put in, you can put a couple of drops in there. I actually use about 3 or 4 for about a mid-sized pot of paint. So absolutely. Good question. Garrick, Long Shot was put out months ago. Did you not get it? Message me if you didn't get it, buddy. Let's see. Any plans of maybe a Thomas Shane Punisher at some point? That would be cool. If it's Punisher, that's always always a possibility. Yeah. So, will you ever put your models for sale separately or on CG Trader? Right now, I don't have any plans to, because I want to make them exclusive for the Patreons or the Patreon members. So if you're a Patreon member and you're new and you're a current subscriber and you missed out on a model, it's $10. It's just like paying a month fee almost. $10 and you get the model. If you're a free member, you haven't subscribed and you want a model, then it's 20. You just message me through there. But no, I don't want to get into the whole CG Trader thing and my mini factory thing right now with everything that's going on. That would really piss me off, spending hours, weeks, days, or whatever like that, and putting all this stuff up there for them to just take it down. So no, I won't be doing that. Um, Another good question. Does the thinner dry out the paint going through the airbrush? So it depends on who you talk to. So I use both water and also use thinner. I actually started using more water in an airbrush um, than I do thinner. Thinner I use for when I'm hand painting. I don't use water when I'm hand painting. It does dry out a little quicker when you're hand painting and stuff. You just kind of have to keep an even mix on it. Um, the one thing that I'm having trouble with now is because of the humidity where I'm at, where I live, the water wants to bead up. It wants to, what do you want to call it? The humidity wants to over oxygenate the water when it's mixed with the paint. And when you apply it through the airbrush, if it's too thin, it starts to bubble up on the surface of the model. So I've actually, that's one thing we could be talking about on like a live paint thing. But yeah, it can happen. You have to just really know how to mix paint. And that is another video that I'm going to be doing soon is how to properly thin paint with thinner, with water. We're going to go over that. I've had a lot of people ask about that. So I'm actually going to make a video of it. We're not talking about just craft paints. We're talking about everything. Inks, we're going to talk about that as well. So um, let's see. So would that help me out on money wise? Yes. Uh, but not necessarily the, not what I'm looking for necessarily. I'm not, a lot of people will tell you I'm not in this for the money when they really are. The money from this just keeps me going. It pays for my hobby. I'm not living off of it or anything like that. So the money aspect is not, something that's just driving me. I want it to succeed. So yeah, you have to have money to operate. I'm not going to lie there. If you don't have any money coming in, then I couldn't do the videos, couldn't do the Patreon or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not gonna, I really want my models to be pretty exclusive for the members only. I don't want them just to wind up all over every type of website and stuff like that being sold for a couple of bucks. And even CG Trader, you got these pirates who go there and they buy them and they wind up selling them to like 20 different other people um, for cash. And that's not what I'm in it for. So I'll probably stick going through me rather than through Patreon or through CG Trader and all those other guys and just, you know, giving them my money, or whatever like that. I can just operate, through myself. I think it's better that way. Um, so yeah, that's probably what I'll wind up sticking to. Yeah, and that's another thing too. My wife just pointed this out is you'll be able to see the oops moments with the live painting videos and stuff too, because there's a lot of those. Oh my God, there's a lot of those. I cussed so bad when I was painting Batman. You have no idea how bad I just, there's a couple of times where I really picked the model up over my head and I was going to smash it. But those happen. You guys don't see those in the full videos, but and you experience them. I mean, you guys paint and print too. I'm not telling you that you don't understand anything you don't understand, but yeah, I mean, those moments are real. So yeah. Um, yeah, the oops moments are so helpful. So yeah, I really don't want to go through any other formats or whatever like that to sell models because I want you guys to have the models and not a bunch of other people. You guys are loyal subscribers and you deserve to have loyalty back from me. And I think that keeping the models on a small platform to me is more valuable for you guys because they're yours. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Maybe funny. I may be just totally off base with it. That's just my way of thinking, I guess. Um, yeah, I do the same thing. So I have on my floor over here on my paint booth, I have all kinds of little droplets and stuff. I always forget to put the cap on the airbrush and go to move around and it spills on the model. I don't even know where my cap is, man. I don't even know what that thing is. I know that I don't even use that cap. Uh, could I s- could I see myself buying a Formlabs 4L? Hell no. That thing is so. Let me tell you a little bit about the Formlabs thing because I'm not under NDA anymore. They reached out to me and wanted me to try some of their resin. I said, okay. So they sent me some resin, the most god awful resin I've ever used in my life. It's supposed to be acro free or something like that. It's supposed to be better smelling or whatever. That stuff stunk so bad. And I got like maybe two decent prints. And when I say decent, I'm talking just barely decent. And other than that, I could not get a decent print out of it for whatever settings I put. Um, it, I just did not like it. Anyway, I reached out to him and I asked him, I'm like, hey, I've seen the new printers that are coming out. You know, is it possible to maybe get one and I'll do a review on it, blah, blah, blah. And they lied to me and told me, "Oh, we don't normally give our printers out because the how expensive they are, and they're usually made for dental practices and stuff, and so we really don't have anything going out." So the next thing I find out is a bunch of creators getting the 4L. So I was just flat out lied to. So you know what? I can't beat myself out, so I'll just say Form Labs. There you are, I said it. Okay. No, but their resin's horrible and it's overly priced. And they're a great company. They are. They're a great company. They did the rep just is full of crap and likes to lie. But no, and you know, and I sent them a nice little professional letter letting them know what I thought of them from lying to me about it, and I haven't heard from them since. So good riddance. Um, so yeah, they could take that 4L and shove it up their ass. Let's see here. Watching your videos is what got me into 3D printing and painting. I'm still learning. Just did my first airbrush painted model after a year. All right, Frank, everybody. Good job, Frank. Hey, if you're on the if you're in the Patreon, go and post it on the Facebook page or go post it into the Discord. I'd love to see it, man. Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of channels do videos on them. I would probably be a if I was a betting man, I'd probably say they probably sold as many as I can count on one hand. I mean, because that thing is like $4,000, $5,000. That is just insane. And they're not doing really anything different as far as print quality and resolution than some of these other companies are. Um, so yeah, not digging it. I had like 4 or 5 bottles of their resin still left over. I just chunked it. It was like, no, it was just terrible. Um, so yeah. Um, so I am gonna kind of get on a little bit of a topic here that I would normally not discuss for obvious reasons. Um, it was 10K, 10,000 for that printer. Jesus. So there is a fellow YouTuber slash painter slash uh, printer or whatever like that that's kind of having a little bit of a hard issue um, with some things, and there's a GoFundMe set up for him. I know I'm not the best terms with this person, but I hate to see anybody to go through a crisis like this guy's doing. He is a fellow YouTuber. He is in the industry and everything like that. He does have a great following. He does have a great channel and everything. You guys can figure it out who it is. And they do have a GoFundMe set up for this guy because he's experiencing some housing issues and needs to raise a little bit of cash, which sometimes, you know, we all need a little bit of help. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I figured, what the hell, I'll extend the olive branch and tell you guys or whatever. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, but if you could find it in your infinite wisdom, hearts, whatever you want to call it, go over and check out the GoFundMe and see what you can do to help the dude out. Again, we don't always get along, but I'm a respectable person, and hopefully he makes everything good and for his family, because I do not want to see anybody, person with a family, kids, wife, or anything like that go through a hard time like this. So I do have a heart. It's black as fuck, but it's there. So anyway, I'll just mention that. I don't want to mention any names because I don't want, him, trying to say that I was having any wrongdoing issues with him or whatever like that. It's not the case. I'm actually trying to help. So I'll leave it at that. Let's say, I heard that they had a lot of restrictions for the people they sent printers to, as well as regarding what they could say. Yeah, because they had everybody under an NDA, and they were pretty strict about what you could or couldn't say. In other words, if the printer sucked or the resin sucked, you couldn't say anything bad about it. That's why I did not do a video on it, because the resin was just not very good. And I mean, what was I going to do? I wasn't going to fake a print going, look at this pretty print, and I did it with this resin, because I didn't. If it's not performing, I'm not going to say that it was good. If a product's no good, I'm not going to lie and say it is. I think that's where a lot of people kind of mislead viewers is, I was watching a video today on a couple of things, trying to get an idea for something that I'm supposed to review. And these people were talking about how this thing was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then I go back and I look in a group and I see their name and they're dogging it. They're like talking bad about it. I'm like, you just said in a video it was great, and now you're saying it's trash. So anyway, yeah, I do have a black heart. Soyan, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the response. I love your videos. Since you made some that simplified skin tones for me, it's what worries me the most about airbrushing. Yes. So I am actually getting ready to do, there's a couple things that I'm doing. I'm doing a video. I'm going to talk about washes, because I use a lot of washes in my models. A lot of people want to know how to properly do them. I'm going to do something about skin tones, a little bit advanced skin tones for you guys. Something I've been working on, a couple techniques that have been helping me out a lot, and they got really good results. So I'm going to share them with you guys. And then there's a couple other things that I'm going to do, like talk about some of the just everyday stuff that I use for my models. And yeah, so we'll be doing another skin tone video here before too long. My black heart has a Punisher skull on it. You friggin' know it, dude. Absolutely has a Punisher skull on it. Yes, it does. Oh, man. And here I am sitting here in a Black Panther shirt. So, Ralph, that is true. It's going to be skin tones without an airbrush. And then I'm actually going to show you how to actually perform with the airbrush as well. So, yeah. There's a lot of things I want to do. I just don't want to bore you guys with a lot of paint ups, because you see one paint up, you've seen them all. I mean, I pretty much use all the same techniques with every video. And while I enjoy doing some, I just don't like having that camera in my face all the time when I'm trying to do this. I'm concentrating on a certain area, and oh man, I got to stop. I got to get another angle. I don't have a cameraman. I do all this by myself. So, yeah. All right. So we've been at this for an hour and a half. Where's the time gone, man? Oh, geez. But yeah, man, thank you guys for the kind words. I mean, I don't think of myself as like a huge inspiration. for modelers and painting and stuff like that. I just do it because I enjoy it and I love passing along what I can. Hopefully, you guys can latch onto some of it and make something out of it. I will tell you that there are a lot of guys in my Discord that have been with me for a couple of years now, and it is probably the biggest honor of seeing their work, what they've gone and accomplished, and how advanced they have become with their models that they're doing. And they don't post all my models from my Patreon and stuff. They're doing everything, all kinds of different models, but a lot of these guys are like, man, they're advancing, and they're enjoying it. So we have a lot of veterans that do this for for their own mentality and stuff. They're to try and keep them subdue and keep their minds off things or whatever like that, which is cool. And they thoroughly enjoy it. And if you don't want to be part of a toxic community, come over to my Discord, join the Patreon, come over to the Discord, and and see what it's all about, because we have a lot of fun over there. We talk about everything. There's like a whole laundry list of subjects that you can talk about. Just no politics. We don't deal with politics there. But you guys that are on here right now, David, Southpaw, Ralph, all you guys, I mean, you guys have been with me for a long time, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my black heart. And yeah, I really appreciate it. Okay, guys. Anything else we're going to talk about tonight? Anything else before we call it a night? I haven't had dinner yet. It's 8:30 here where I'm at. Oh man. So I did a couple of updates on the Patreon page of some of the models. It's looking like one, maybe two of them, maybe a couple of days late. They're just pretty technical with the model itself and everything. So we're hoping everything that the artist can get it done in time or whatever like that. But I don't like pressuring them. We have deadlines and stuff, but I don't like pressuring anybody. 15 years is worth 2,000. All right. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. I want to thank you guys again for trusting in this channel. We just went over 37,000 subscribers, I believe. And it picked up there for a minute and then it kind of dropped off again. And I know it's my own fault or whatever, but I thoroughly thank each and every one of you guys for being a loyal subscriber. And without you guys, I could not do this. I'm not trying to be sappy or anything like that, but I think just like any musician, any celebrity or any sports personality or anything like that, I think they need to thank their fans and their audience first. And that's what I'm doing. So without you guys, this channel is nothing but dog shit. And I greatly appreciate your time and effort, especially in coming to the live streams and asking questions and hearing me rant and checking out the videos and stuff when you probably don't need to. You're still supporting the channel. And of course, most importantly, sharing the videos and talking about, what the channel is about and everything like that, and Patreon. So greatly appreciate it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here because I'm hungry. I got to work in the morning and it's getting late. I need my beauty sleep. This ugly mug right here needs its beauty sleep. So appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you again. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. And everyone have a good night. And don't forget to get out and create something. Print, prep, paint, repeat. And until the next video, guys, and until the next live stream, I'm going to start having more of these. Thank you so much and have a good night, and we'll see you.